joke. Learn from mistakes. DJ S&S the Great. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. Best day of my life, no sleep all night. Broke day for weeks, my cash was right. My cop was tight, take our loot, unite. 23-hour shifts, had to see loot like Mike. Cash, lovely, yeah, Dougie. How I get this day, get so ugly. Wifey about to pop, like some bubble. Yo, do those normals, but really bug me. Felt like a star, cop first car. Get up with the guard, what it is, baby ball. You about to cop a van, get up with our mans. Before we reached our low spot, toes bland. Unaware what happened, discussing and clapping. It wasn't loud, ain't shit gonna happen. Me being stupid instead of getting it moving. This nigga kept chefing like the woo one. Then we heard a knock, no one knew where this spot. Since niggas in the spot, since niggas not. Ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. I'm in the precinct, all damn even. This good cop, bad cop shit got me steaming. No, I was caught, I ain't give a fuck. Had jokes like the usual suspects line up. Boom, time's up, came back fucked. Shirt wrinkled up, my pigs worked me up. Time's up, heard them clink of the cuffs. Niggas was so deep they had to call on the bus. Everybody that checks outside waiting on us like ghetto celebs. Our cells ain't flush. 5 in the book and gave a whooping. He never forget, they gotta be split. Up in the courtroom, they cause it ruckus. Everybody that checks waiting on us. Trying to bail us out, that thought got thrown out. Bill was so high, I could be half a nigga out. Copped out, that's what first fell in the bow. Back on the bus, right is the route. Wifey in the courtroom crying out. We love y'all with tears running in their mouth. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. Choke, don't joke. Learn from mistakes. Keep chasing that paper, you gonna catch a case. DJ S&S the Great.
Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. They like, what? Choke is here on time, early, before everybody? I was the first one in the chat today, baby. Shout out to Silk Team, Bigger BX, James Little, Roger Graves, Bobby Norris, Hassan Muhammad, what up? Clarence, what up? Aaron, Shamilion, Reese, what up? Organic Butterfly, what's good with you? You know what I mean? Shout out to my Patreon gang. Y'all know what time it is. No, Instagram ain't gonna let me go live. You know how they be doing me, man. Be doing me real dirty over at the gram, man. But today I got my man Jinx The Juvie calling in. He's gonna call in like 5 minutes. You know, I needed, you know, to make sure that I was up and loaded. You know what I mean? Val, what up, Val? For my Patreon gang, my Patreon scholars, tonight I'm gonna put up the full video that I shot at Tamar Braxton on the Patreon only tonight. So if you ain't on my Patreon, it's patreon.com/choke-no-jizoke. If you ain't got my album, Learn from Mistakes, you can get that right now on ChokeNoJokeProductions.com. You know, yes, Jinx is from Brownsville, BK, Jinx The Juvie. Wait till y'all hear his story, man. Still got 25 years. When he copped out to, I think, like a 49 or something, and then turned around, he smacked him with 25. Let me see. Hold on, yeah. Oh, was it Flashback Friday? Let me take y'all back to the streets, man. Because, you know, when I was doing this thing, man, a lot of niggas wasn't doing it. And they ain't, you know, and being that, you know, it's a Brooklyn thing tonight. Let me see what I got for BK. Since my man Jinx the Juvie about to call in, let me take it to Brooklyn for a minute. All right. Y'all mind if I take it to Brooklyn for a minute? BK, let's go. Jinx the Juvie tonight. Let's go.
Yo, you ready? Let me just see how the music sound. Let me test it out. That shit is good. All right, take me somewhere else now. I see it over here. If I shoot you, I'll bring it. Dig them fingers, what's a nigga to do? When the streets is watching, blocks keep clocking, waiting for you to break, taking a first mistake. Can't ignore it, that's the passing when he getting shorted. My time is money, with 25 I can't afford it. Beat for sorted like a diver, sharpest niggas you bought it. I pull the slides back, clock it, playing the 40. You and your man's hit a pass, they'll strive, you operate, get no bitch time. Your nigga think, broke my shells. When your niggas try to do a search myself, I just jawing down. It's like it's not a beat dance. One of the cops, when I see you in the street, cops. One of the drops, when I'd rather be on truck, getting up. One of the pops, and the bitches with some bitches, and one of the drops. When the streets is watching, fly, she flying, waiting for you to break. Take your first mistake, can't ignore it. Scratch, hold up, scratch. You can't even hear these motherfucking mics. Yeah.
Choke no joke. You already know. Let's take it back to the streets. My man Jinx the Juvie tonight. Let me give him a little more just a little more jigger for the jiggaboos. Let's go.
The president. Wherever spit that, wonder why my shit, me and my conglomerate, shower made anonymous, caught up in the finest shit, live out my dreams until my heart give out. If I would claim, you know exactly what this shit's about, fuck y'all mean. Handling since a teen, I dish out, like the point guard of your favorite team, without doubt. My life is rosy, roll with it. I'm fine with the go hit, told me that the road did it, and now it's shit is so acidic. I flow a digit on the diamond in a minute, but no bitches.
Choke no joke. You already know. You see it.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from
Jinx.
an inmate at the Delaware County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. Hello, this is a prepaid debit call from
Jinx.
an inmate at the Delaware County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse it. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Yo, Joe.
Jinx, what up? What up?
What's good, bro?
Hey, ain't nothing, chilling, man. I'm just playing a little BK music to set the vibe right for you.
That's right. That's right. Got to bring it to the borough one time, man. Remember that, man? Good introduction, man, of what's going on and who's on. I appreciate the love, bro, man. You know, yeah. I got 15 minutes on the click. So whenever you're ready to rap.
Yeah, I'm ready right now. So just remind people who you are, where you from, and where you are, and who you are.
All right. Hey, yo, man, it's Jinx The Juvie. For all y'all who don't know who I am, man, I'm a Brooklyn rapper from Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? I got a deal with Def Jam when I was 15 years old. I came in the game with Kool Rap. You know what I'm saying? The hip-hop legend. You know, I ran around with G-Rap, battling dudes on the corners of New York City. You know, which led me to ciphers around the Rough Riders. Rough Riders was interested in me. You know, ultimately I signed with Def Jam. They put a little bidding war together, and I signed with Def Jam when I was 16 years old.
All
I
right.
got records out there. I got records on Cradle to the Grave, you know, the Jet Li and DMX soundtrack. I was on Funk Master Flex Tunnel album with Lady Luck. I did a song with Fabulous, produced by Jeff Blaze. Then on multiple Case Lays and DJ Kool tapes, you know, things of that nature.
Right. So now, how long have you been rapping before you got a record deal?
I was rapping since I've been 13, maybe like 12. You know what I'm saying? I'd say 11, 12. You know, I started rapping as a young kid just to express myself. I was going through a lot at the time where I started practicing my craft. I was in the shelter with my mom, actually, when I first started rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got the whole name, Jinx The Juvie.
Right. What you call it? So where you locked up at?
Well, right now, you know, I'm in the feds. I got 25 years. I was sentenced to 300 months on a drug conspiracy. I've been down 7 years now. And, you know, through the grace of God and my due diligence on top of my case, I filed a 2255, which is ineffectiveness of counsel. And the judge granted me a new evidentiary hearing, which I got next week, Wednesday, 10 a.m. and bring it to federal court. You know what I'm saying? So, they're out in New York. I mean, it's like a part of New York, you know what I mean? Delaware County, not too far from Binghamton, where the court building I'm gonna be at.
Okay. Now, real quick. Now, you just said you were sentenced to 300 months. How you get 25 years?
Well, on a drug conspiracy like the one I was arrested on, for all the drugs inside the 13-man conspiracy, it starts you off at a mandatory minimum of 10, which is, so, you know, just giving y'all a little insight of these laws, 280 grams of crack get a person locked into a mandatory minimum of 10 years. So, 13-man conspiracy, it was 280 grams of crack or more. So that locked me into a mandatory minimum of 10 when I pled guilty to all the drugs, which I shouldn't have. And being that I had a prior felony, they could use any felony. Well, they could have used any felony before the First Step Act, which was passed by Trump or whatever. But they used the prior felony, you know what I'm saying, which I got probation for that case, you know what I'm saying? I only been to jail for one prior felony and then used that felony to 851 me. It's a motion called 851 where the district attorney can use your prior felony to double your mandatory minimum. So my 10 turned into 20 for the drugs, and then they gave me 5 years for a firearm because over a wiretap phone, they hear me saying I'm going to bring the grip out for that. But the crazy shit is, though, Joe, my federal sentencing guidelines, which is their system, how they use to give you a point system, I'm scheduled to have 7 to 9 years. So according to my federal sentencing guidelines, I should have got 7 to 9 years, but due to these mandatory minimum laws, I got locked into a 25-year sentence.
All right, 25 years. I mean, we see people get 25 years for murder. They give you 25 years for what, drugs?
Yeah. You know, yo, Choke, man, I was in the county jail fighting my case for 21 months. And I said this on my new record, Wrestling with the Feds, which is out right now. You know what I'm saying? I said, Judge hit the gravel. 300 months. How the fuck they give a nigga that for selling drugs? Know some niggas who caught bodies ain't got less than that. Like my little homie dropped and gave him 19 flat. Like I was with my little homies, man, who caught murder charges and was getting 19 and 20 years and all that. But they gave me 25 years, Choke, for drugs, man. That's the harsh reality of the penalties in the game we play out there in the streets, man. They give a nigga, hey, yo, I got 25, but I know people and I've been around people who got life for this shit. Life for drugs.
That don't make no sense for the drugs they bring into the country.
Absolutely. We don't own no ships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't bringing that shit in. You know what I mean? And the crazy shit about it is, you know, not to blame the white man, because I definitely ain't on none of that. The choices that we make, you know, we got to accept the responsibility for the outcome. But compared to coke, it's like 100 to 1. You know what I'm saying? A person could get locked up with 5 kilos of coke and get the same amount of time as somebody who get locked up for 280 grams of crack. And the reason for that is, Choke, is because they know it's more than likely that young black males in America have crack in their hands. And sometimes, you know, it's more than likely that the white man might have powder in his hand. You got lawyers, doctors, and all that who play with their nose and all that. So to keep them out of prison for these long-term sentences, it's a disparity between coke and crack.
Right. Yeah, and you know the crack gonna go to the black neighborhoods for the most part, even though we know a lot of white people mess with crack too. But for the sentences and guidelines is definitely to destroy us. Now let me ask you a question, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know the answer to this. If you had a record deal and you was getting ready to sign the Def Jam, why was you around drugs?
Let's be clear, Chuck. I wasn't about to get signed to Def Jam. I was signed to Def Jam for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? What people don't know, like when I quit my case, it's basically where we from, man. You know, coming up in the streets, we want instant gratification. And I tell this to young artists that be in here rapping, coming up to me talking about how they can get in the game, this, that, and the third. You can't walk in 2 different directions at the same time. I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be before I knew who I was. So therefore, when circumstances come where you don't get the instant gratification, we live by that Malcolm X quote, by any means necessary. You feel what I'm saying? So if Russell is not giving me money to promote my record right now, then I'm going to do what I got to do to get this money and put behind my record on my own. And I went out, jumped on my own, and I split my head open. And now I'm away from the dream and thing I love most, which is making music. You know what I mean? Poor decision making. And that can happen to anybody, Chuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you know, your case is similar to Casanova's case. You know, y'all both were signed, you know, to major labels, but you know, like you said, the label or the company may not be moving as fast as you need them to move, and you got to still be out here surviving. And when you come from the streets, sometimes you might fall back into that lane. And right now we seeing like Casanova, who was signed to Rock Nation, where everybody want to be at Rock Nation. He done made it to the brunch and been around Jay and all of them. He signed to Memphis Bleak, but now he back in jail, my nigga.
Right. And you know what it is? Like right now, I'm working on my book, man, which is gonna be, it's titled right now. It's not stamped, but it's called Urban Graduate, man. And it broke my heart, you know what I'm saying? From brother to brother, you know what I'm saying? When I heard that Cass got locked up, it hurt my heart before, you know, when I heard about the 6ix9ine situation before he, you know, did whatever he did or whatever. Just hearing dudes, you know what I'm saying, fall victim like I fell victim, I think it's my duty, you know what I'm saying, as somebody who lived that life and done had to go through the things that I'm going through right now, to share it with the next generation of artists so they don't make the same mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm about right now. I'm not preaching to nobody. You know, I live this shit, I still talk my shit, I still talk my street shit, my hustling shit and all that. But now it's more of a message that, you know, like, yo, if you gonna rap, be a rapper. You can't be a rapper and a gangster at the same time. And I think, you know, most rappers, sometimes coming from where we come from, we get caught up in trying to live out the lyrics that we live in. But the main goal is to make music, get out the hood, and pull our people out of the streets. So to try to do, the things that we're talking about in our music as we going up the ladder is like, it don't make no sense, you know what I'm saying? We were killing ourselves doing that, so I don't promote that. And if there's any artists out there right now who's listening to this, man, focus on your craft, man. Let the craft get you where you need to be and stay out the streets, man.
Yeah, that's where, and that's my whole thing. I got an album out called Learn from Mistake. And you could preach. It ain't nothing wrong with preaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm preaching. Dudes may not want to hear us preach, but
I'm a poet. You know what I'm saying? I'm a poet, like an analyst from the motherfucking news station, reporting live from the streets, telling you what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what's going on in the streets and what the outcome gonna be from your actions. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna preach to you, but I'm gonna put you up on game and let you know, if you do this, if you do A and B, it's gonna lead to C. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be in the C position, okay, then do A and B.
Hey, Jinx, check this out. Check this out, Jinx. I got a real deep, interesting thought, right? I want you to talk to the label owners that sign artists like yourself from the streets, that give up the streets to go to the music industry to do the rap. And now I want you to let them know, and I'm not putting no blame on Russell Simmons or nobody, but for all the artists like yourself that you need money and you sign to this label, and when they not moving fast enough for you, you revert back to the streets. What can you say to these CEOs, these label owners, about the artists that they sign? What can they do to make sure they don't have to go back to the streets to risk their career?
Well, speaking to the label owners, I mean, I don't put no blame, like you said, I don't put no blame on the label owners. I'm a man of accepting responsibility for my actions, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to say something to the labels, I would say take a approach or investment in your artist's personal life more than as cattle or product. And I think if they spend more quality time getting to know their artists and their lifestyles and where they come from, and cultivating their thoughts in their mind and taking the time to spend with them, I think it'll help develop the artist outside of being an artist. Because I feel as if they do that, an artist can understand his responsibility, because being an artist comes with a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And I think if the dialogue between the execs behind the desk was more based on that rather than putting money in our hands so fast and just letting us run wild and then sitting back waiting for a record to blow up, giving us time. So now we got money in the streets, and the things ain't going fast enough, but we out there in the streets, so we run through our little money or whatever the case may be, and living off of show money, and y'all sitting behind the desk with no care in the world, don't understand, don't know what we're going through. Of course we're going to resort back to what we know best to try to, live up to that image or invest in ourselves. So I think if I had to say something to any label owners that's behind the desk, I would say take a more approach to artists' personal life to develop them as a person, to understand that it's a responsibility as an artist. And I think they'll stop losing their money, and we'll start having some artists really stepping up to the plate, not falling victim to the places that we come from.
Right. And what would you say to the artists out here that, soon as they get a buzz, all the niggas that never been around them start coming around, and they you speak on it, bro. Speak on it.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what? I laugh because that was me, man. You know what I'm saying? I laugh because I can laugh now looking back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. I went through a phase where I was mad at myself. But that's what it's about, man. When we come from where we come from, and we get a little piece of something, you gotta understand, our whole life we never thought that we would have this level of fame and money. So the first thing we want to do is celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And we got in that celebration, we celebrate around everybody. We want to let everybody know, what's going on, man. Look, I got something now. You know what I'm saying? Because we come from nothing. So I think it just, if I had to tell an artist about protecting their circle, I would say, man, I think experience would have to teach that person that. I don't think it's no words that I really can say. You know what I'm saying? That's going to really be heartfelt to an artist. But I would tell you this, though. When the money is gone, when you come behind these walls like how I am right now, or your record flop, or whatever the case may be, dudes ain't going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So, look at people who fell in front of you. Look at the Jinx The Juvies. Look at the Casanovas. Look at the, look at the Max D's and different artists who went through these things and, access or listen to what I'm saying right now, man. Dudes ain't around, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and Casanova going through that. Casanova going through that right now. He keeps shooting out messages on social media that dudes ain't looking out, dudes ain't visiting. And you and me both know, man, that's part of the game and come with it.
Hey, yo, man, free Casanova, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to say that before I say what I say, but at the end of the day, this ain't Cash first rodeo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody who hasn't been to prison before, he can stand more on that. Hey, yo, this person ain't doing this person ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't ever been here before. But somebody who's been here before, you know what time it is already. You know what I'm saying? And I think for brothers going through the system or going through something in their life in general, you can't point fingers, man. I did that maybe my first 2 years, maybe locked up, but you got to look in that mirror. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's most important to elevate and overcome those failures and shortcomings you came up with.
Right. What would you say to the young dudes that's infatuated with the gang life, especially from New York when that ain't even our culture?
Oh, with the gang life, I mean, like I said, man, I ain't preaching. I'm not a gang member, even though I'm locked up on a Mac Baller conspiracy as we speak right now. And according to the feds right now, I'm a Mac Baller, which I'm not. So let's keep that on the record. Number one, since we speak about gangs, you know what I'm saying? But I think coming where we come from, broken homes, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, the young generation want to be a part of something. And not to speak for them, but I understand where they're coming from, wanting to be a part of something. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to have a family and people that they think that they can rely on. So I think they more or less, or speaking directly to them, if you're a young gang member out there, you might be going through like a defensive mechanism right now, trying to be a part of something. And at the end of the day, it's all fabricated, man, because, we ain't bringing brothers out the hood or in a positive light. And some crazy about it, behind these gates, Bloods and Crips and all that stick together to combat the oppressors or the white man that's here, the Aryan Nation hoods and stuff like that. So behind the gates, I was able to see gangs come together for.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And bring brothers up. But I don't think it's nothing in the gang life. You wind up being on the conspiracy, didn't even do some of the activities that's involved on the indictment and get caught up with the next man who wants to be in jail doing life for some shit they ain't even do just because they were a part of the gang. I don't think that's cool.
Right. Now, and that's messed up that you locked up with some gang members and you're not even a gang member just by just being around people. But yo, you calling back or you got to go?
Yeah, I'm calling out. I just got to tell you that right now. Give me like 1 minute. I'm going to call right back, Joe.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to wait for you to call back.
Say the moment.
All right. Yeah, Jinx The Juvie, he going to call back. So, this is the Learn from Mistakes series where you're going to learn from other people's mistakes. But I want him to build more on that the gang thing, because if you was paying attention, he said he's locked up for a gang conspiracy for some gang. I think he said Mac Ballers, whatever the hell that is, right? So clearly he probably was just hanging around or knew people that was in the gang or Mac Ballers or whatever. But being that he wasn't even in the gang, but these are his peoples, his friends or whatever, he got caught up in a conspiracy. So you might want to be careful when you hanging out with your homies that's gangbangers. Because just because you don't gangbang, you can get pulled into their case just because guilty by association. You know what I'm saying? This man doing 25 years. And he's not even what he said, a Mac baller. You know what I'm saying? He got pulled right into it. So you got to be cautious with your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? You know, your brother could be a blood or a crip, and you grew up with him in the same house. And you may not ever even join the gang, but still could get pulled in to something that your brother did in a conspiracy
Motion
case.
detected at your front door.
You know what I'm saying?
Motion detected.
So it's very dangerous being connected. Oh, here you go. Hold on.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from
Jinx.
an inmate at the Delaware County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse, this call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Yeah, Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to the being affiliated with like the gang thing. How just explain to them how that can happen to a person that's not a part of the gang.
But basically, it's the company that you keep, man. It's called guilty by association. You got to understand these oppressors, man. You know what I'm saying? I hate to call them crackers. You know what I'm saying? You can call them what you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? But these people, and you know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Their job is to scoop as many young black men off the streets as possible. So you only making it easy by affiliating yourself with people that's involved in illegal activities. You know what I'm saying? And more than likely, majority of the time, they know you're not doing these things that your friends or associates is doing. And that's more of a reason for them to scoop your motherfucking ass off the streets, because when we squeeze you and tell you we're going to give your ass 20, 30 life for shit you ain't do, a motherfucker going to roll over and start pointing fingers and tell on the individuals that they know that are doing these things. So basically, you just being a tool. If you're around people that's doing things that you ain't really, that the way that you're not really living, you're only setting yourself up to be a tool for the government to wind up telling on somebody to get yourself out of a situation you shouldn't have been in the first place. And that's what they do, Joe.
Right. So what would you tell these young dudes out here as far as the gang life go?
I mean, Chuck, I tell niggas in general, because you got some old stupid motherfuckers out there too running around talking about they this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying about that.
You got some old dumb motherfuckers out there running around with flags and shit talking about they was this since 93 and all that. Like, all right, cool, man, get the fuck out of here, man, raise your kids. But I said, as far as the young kids, you said, what? You know, I gotta keep it real, Chuck. Like,
you got me crying. Nah, you ain't lying though. Yo, because I know niggas in their 50s still, these niggas still be wearing bandana clothes and shit.
Come on, man, put a button up on, you know what I'm saying, or something, go get a job, chill out, man, and talk to these niggas and get these niggas on the right mission. But what was your question, though? I ain't want to
Nah, I was just basically saying, like, you know, like trying to forewarn kids about the gang life. Because, I mean, you know, like most of the people that join gangs when we young is for security. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you know, like I know a lot of the older niggas that use the younger niggas, they using them as pawns. You know what I'm saying? And they tell, oh, yo, you got to put in some work. We need you to do this. And if you want to be down, and they do something, they might go to jail for it. They never get down and be in jail for the rest of their life.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. You got that situation where you got the older dudes, and I would tell, like, I got a song called "Little Niggas Don't Stay Little Niggas." You know what I'm saying? Coming up with street fighting now, it ain't a game. Get your gun license. Little niggas don't stay little niggas. Caught a case for assault, beat it in trial. Now you thinking you're boss. Little niggas don't stay little niggas. I don't trust him, never did. Pat him down, he might have that thing on his head. Little niggas don't stay little niggas. It's that coming that age bleak story, that shit that had Jay-Z worried. Little niggas don't stay little niggas. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. You got older niggas that, you know, influence the young to put in work and do things that they ain't trying to do no more, or just to reflect and see them put in work like how they used to when they was young. But nowadays, you got young dudes that just want to do this shit. And you know why? Because I remember I was in that position before, and I was brainwashed to a degree too. You know, and I said this before on an interview with Chad Moss, my jailhouse lawyer. But anyway, you know, my father used to sit me down and show me pictures of older dudes that was in jail. They wasn't gang members, but he used to show me dudes that had all this respect, and they had the muscles and the t-shirts and tank tops on and all these wild stories. So young dudes hearing these things, not getting the right message from older dudes, they want to go out there and be the next Larry O, you know what I'm saying, or Deadeye, or this big blood dude, or this big blood crip, because of the stories and the reputation of the stories they used to hear about these people. They want to become that person. They want to be the next Rod Diggs. Like, damn, Rod Diggs got an asshole full of time, but yo, everybody in the streets talking about it, and it just comes from not feeling like they're somebody. And I'm here to tell you right now, little homie, you are somebody. You could be the next motherfucking Warren Buffett, or the next Russell Simmons, or the next Leo Cohen, or the next motherfucking Denzel Washington. All you gotta do, little homie, is channel that energy and become somebody. You know, you're on the right path, but just put that energy in a different direction. So if there's any little homie out there right now that's listening to this right now, and he's at that fork in the road and just wanting to be somebody, that's a good thing. Just make sure you channel that energy in a safe environment. Take the proper risk in a safe environment.
Right. Yeah, that was real good advice right there, man. That was real good advice. Yo, so I think you need to drop that joint too. That shit you just spit was fire.
Yeah, and I'm sitting on. They sat me down, man, choke, man, and you can learn through misfortune, man. They say opportunity has a habit of coming in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. For me, I utilized these 7 years in prison to get myself together. For one, look in the mirror, study self first, know who you is. I'm sitting on over 100 and something songs right now. You know, choke, I got record after record, man. I'm just so geared up and happy. I got the bondage out of my life, and I got some shit, my nigga. Like, for real, man. I'm coming, man. Jinx The Juvie is coming with a vengeance. For real. I'm coming for his mind, man. So, you know, all the rap niggas that's listening to this too, man. I know y'all niggas scared. I know y'all hear them back down on the pill. When I get home, get the fuck out the way. Straight up, man.
Nah, they ain't gonna get out the way. They gonna embrace you when you come home, man. But we hoping this appeal go great for you, man.
It's friendly competition, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I'm coming out to compete and share my talents with the world, man. All that.
Yeah, but so when your court and stuff start for this appeal?
Well, basically, they came and got me out the fence this last year, September. You know, my court date was scheduled for October, but due to the COVID shit, they kept pushing it back. They pushed it back to March. Then they pushed it back they went from October to January to March to now to June. So I spoke to my lawyer and everything like 2 days ago. It's set in stone, you know what I'm saying? Next Wednesday, I'll be in Binghamton Federal Court building at 10 a.m. for my evidentiary hearing. You know, I'm claiming victory right now in the name of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? And after that, I have to get a new plea agreement, and knowing what I know now and the way the laws are due to the First Step Act, I should get either time served or 10 years. 10 years and have me home no later than March next year.
Well, we praying for you, brother, and we definitely hope that it is going to happen. It is going to happen.
You already know. for having me up there, man. Chop it up, but I call home, they like, yo, man, choke no joke doing this, choke no joke. I'm like, well, Phil, what's up, man? Give me your name, man. Shout out my big homie, you know what I'm saying? Big Phil. Shout out Teflon Music, my management. Shout out DJ New, who produced my new record right now. You could go on any streaming platform service right now, you know what I'm saying, to check out Wrestling with the Fans. It was produced by DJ New. You know what I'm saying? That's the first record we dropped. You know, check out my website, jinxthejuvie.com. All my content, all my t-shirts is up there. You know what I'm saying? You get all the updates, man. So hopefully we be doing the follow-up interview, man, letting you know, like, you know, I won the case and I'll be home. Or we do one as soon as I touch the street show.
Yeah, that I can't wait for that, man. I can't wait for you to get in that studio.
Can I drop something?
Hell yeah. Go ahead, man. Go. It's all you until the phone click.
All right, see the more, man. We're going to go to some bars, man. So I said, hey, yo, chain so heavy, I need massage therapy. Hours in the spa, half an ounce of evergreen. Jade to the wine, the tape decks is the schoolyard. Sweets at the Holiday Inn, nights in the pool hall. I'm back in court, Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumas. As far as the drugs, more sold in the shoe store. Ain't talking now Bundy married with children like that Brooklyn Bear rapper say $500,000 in my first year going out of state with the crew. Stick on me like it's gum on the back of my shoe. Did real songs with Fad too, you niggas flying verses. Had his family shopping for him and buying hearses. Cause for certain, they should warn in my presence. My man copped out the 3 flat coat with an effort. Cut a nigga in Cayuga, turned it to 7. Put a cross on his face just like the robe on the reverend. Damn, I'm guessing he crossed the line and paid the consequences. Far as me, I'm watch shopping through the Diamond District, chilling, staying out of the way. Always in New York, but I live an hour away. Never shit where you lay, it's just the way he was taught. Handle business face to face, never over the phone. CNN's like Nori and Capone, and these bitches from me can't get a ring, call Malone. Married to my endeavor since 8-ball levers. Sport backpacks, PS 137. Bainbridge and Saratoga, down the hill, Lord Derrick. Before I moved to the Ville, Rockaway and Livonia. Cut it with ammonia, the fiends had never noticed it. Told the shooters if they headshot them, give them bonuses. Got my management team telling me be more conscious. Encourage you to stay in school and not get involved in shit I've been through it to save them from all the hardship. Although I know it's true, the streets, they want that hard shit. What am I to do as an artist, building my following? Stay consistent, put out singles like a dollar van. Use my wisdom like Solomon out the Bible and pray to God my fingerprints ain't on the rifle. Cause last time I took off the gloves in a hurry. Connect sure to me on some grams, told me don't worry. I told that nigga, fuck that nigga, I want my money, or the next time we see you is Craig Mack, ugly. And we ain't doing Gucci shades this summer, we doing Chrome Hearts. And all my bitches is fly, Emilio Earnhardt. Overlooking the city in a loft that I own now, with glass windows, better views than World Star. Security cameras, alarms for the tenants, and the Range Rovers is all sports like the Olympics. Bullberry trenches, rain boots, identical, and all these rappers junkies now. Ain't none lyrical, or maybe I'm too invested in the craft, but niggas ain't never around until that bag come. Gotta watch out for the leeches, they always in the mix. In jail, me and my niggas would talk through events. He was in the cell right by mine. Gave me the mandatory minimums, not the guidelines. Custom interior in the 5 of the Lambo SUV. Came in the face, left it in the aisle like TLC. Crossed the T's, dotted all the I's, so plan A work for us, and we ain't have to alter the plan B. When it's family, no amount of limit the love stretch. Already rinsed the dope, all we got is the bird left. In my absence, rappers get my style right there, bros. But fuck the president, we only after the dead ones who faces on the bill. Out here racing for a meal and not that female rapper Jay gave a record deal and received it in the jars or sealed. Somewhere on the highway or coming through the mail. Learned when I failed, these was legendary moments. Trial and never grow period for me to focus. Dutch James University, I was the spokesman. Lotto on commercials, televised promotion. On a nationwide scale, I ain't new to fame. Still mash out your whole posse like Lil Fame. Getting face in the ghost, listening to Wu-Tang. Then when Run DMC wasn't wearing shoestrings. I was in my mom's stomach about to see the light of day. When you go through certain shit, the tears will never wipe away. Residue on the plate, let us fade, had this shit. Same one to apartments, we was bagging it. Just a couple bars for you, Choke.
God, nigga. Oh, nigga, I'm cutting that part out by itself and uploading that, nigga. Oh, you got bars, nigga. You still got it, nigga. You got my eyes watering. I'm like, this nigga gotta come on.
I'm hungry, man. sometimes, man, you chain a dog to a fence and put a stake in front of him. That's how I look at the rap game. I learned through this experience, bro, what matters most and what means something to me. It's showing me in my music, man. So I just dived into it, feeding myself knowledge, working, reading everything, and working on my craft, man. That's all I did these years.
Nigga, you just, yo, I'm telling you, nigga, that, whoo, nigga, that shit you said, that shit you said about the ghost face and the oh, nigga.
Hey, yo, man.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chuck. I'm gonna keep it real. As I move forward in my endeavors, man, I'm looking past being a rapper. I'm looking to write for people. I'm looking to be an executive. I'm looking to nurture, like that question that you asked me, what would you tell the executives behind the desk? I know how to nurture and how to handle an artist coming from the streets. That's why I think I'm gonna be a strong tool for a label, or just putting out artists on my own, because I know how to relate to them and I know what to look out for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look forward to fighting for people and just being a part of this next generation of stars, man. I'm not a hater. Most dudes, when we come from artists from New York, man, I'm gonna keep it real. I love a lot of artists from New York, man. I'm hearing dudes doing their thing. Shout out to French, shout out to Jim. Jim Apple was crazy, that El Capo shit. Shout out Benny the Butcher. But I'm gonna keep it real. For the most part, artists from New York ain't really good at putting other artists out. You know what I'm saying? Being executive, making executive moves. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be one of those artists who learn how to do that. Learn how to help my city where I'm from.
Yeah, because niggas is selfish and on some sucker-ish. But which artists stayed in touch with you throughout this ordeal?
Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. And unlike, and no disrespect, like I said, Free Casanova, you know what I'm saying? I don't know his relationship with those artists. No artist that I know some artists, I'm not even gonna throw their name out there, because you know what? When Jinx came to prison and got to 25, I ain't blaming it on Russell. I ain't blaming it on no rappers. And it could be reasons, and inside my book, you might hear some things inside of my book that say, okay, that encouraged him to make those decisions. And you might point the finger at somebody else and say, yo, that's the reason why, that's the reason why. But when I was in here, nobody even reached out to me. That's fine and dandy, man. You got to learn yourself. Sometimes you can't be afraid to be alone and alone with your own thoughts. So that was the good thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I know when I come home, all I need to do is focus on myself and compete with these artists, because they're not my friends. 50 said that shit in the song. He said if he gets shot today, his phone will start ringing again. 50 be around a whole bunch of motherfuckers right now, artists in the game. But he knows if his ass gets shot up 9 motherfucking times and go broke, niggas ain't gonna fuck with him. So he one step ahead of the game. And me knowing that in my situation, learning from it, I know that. So it's really about coming home, like I said, sharing my craft, helping others, not being bitter, but knowing what's important. And I got a chance to learn that during this adversity.
Yeah, see, and I learned that in the game too. I always thought, like, all these dudes that I met and women in the industry that I helped and worked with, I really thought that a lot of these people were organic and were my friends too, until I figured out people only stick around you for what you could do for them.
Hey, Cho, I'm going to keep it real with you. Like I said, I ain't going to put nobody on the bus. I done spoke to a few rappers, you know what I'm saying? Through other people, whatever the case would be. One particular rapper, I spoke to him, you know what I'm saying? He said he's going to look out for me, throw me up on the ground or whatever the case may be. No, niggas don't even post nothing about me. Niggas won't even like none of my pictures. Niggas don't do nothing. They don't shout me out or nothing. And some of these I really know from being in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a motherfucker view my shit, though. He'll look. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, let me see what he's doing. Oh, that nigga recording over the phone in jail. Because at the end of the day, it's competition. Dudes ain't friends. Niggas look at you like competition. Oh, you out the way. You killed yourself. You shot yourself. You got 25 years. Good. I ain't want you in the way anyway. I'm glad you ain't shucking your craft and doing what you were supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? That's how dudes look at dudes. But it's not like that in the South, as you can see. We ain't gonna get into that. But that's just where we from. I accept it though, Chuck, and use it for motivation.
Yeah, but don't get it confused with the South too. That's a big misconception. I live in Atlanta. And, I'm behind the scenes, so I'll be knowing the real. A lot of On the face of the South, it looks like unity, but behind the curtain, these niggas is the same way as New York.
But that's a good step, though. Shit, you know what I'm saying? That's a step closer, though. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, me and you don't see eye to eye, but for it's bigger than us. We got to have a purpose bigger than just for us. It's for our city and where we from. One thing that I looked at when I was, speaking on artists, man, and things of that nature, when I see, what I wanted to hear Nicki and Cardi on the joint. I was sad. A street nigga. I was sad in Lexington, Kentucky, low facility in the feds when I heard that they wasn't seeing eye to eye and they was going at it. I said, damn, I wish we had a fucking J Prince in New York that would shut that down and say, yo, y'all cut that shit out and y'all get together and do a song, man. I think the fans missed out on Cardi and motherfucking Nicki going back to back and all that shit, man. Well,
It's these label head niggas. These niggas is
You have 1 minute remaining.
Yo, I'm gonna let you wrap it up with this 1 minute.
Okay, yeah, man. Again, shout out to the homie Choke No Joke, man. Shout out my whole Teflon management team. Shout out Big Phil. You know what I'm saying? Phil, the guys behind the world, man. Giovanni Lara, my nigga P. Lizzy, Young Trey. You know what I'm saying? DC Nick, all the brothers fighting the case. All the little homies that's listening to this out there, man. Do what you gotta do. If you're in the game, get out ASAP, man. Learn something else, man. Use your mind. You know what I'm saying? Educate yourself. All the New York artists out there, keep doing your thing. French, Jim, you know what I'm saying? A Boogie, Don Q, Top 5, you know what I'm saying? Young and May, everybody, man. Shout out to everybody out there doing your thing. I'll be home soon, June 9th. I go to court. Y'all pray for me, man. Choke No Joke, Jinx The Juvie, signing up.
Yo, what's your Instagram? Give them their Instagram.
My Instagram is Jinx The Juvie. My Facebook is BK Jinx, man. Y'all check me out, follow me, show some love, man.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Shout out to Jinx The Juvie. You know what I'm saying? Choke No Joke, learn from mistakes series. You got to learn from the people a little older than you. You know, we make a lot of mistakes in life that y'all don't got to make if y'all following behind us. If you seen us do it and it was bad repercussions behind it, don't do what we did. Please don't do what we did. We did it so you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jinx The Juvie. Hopefully, throw a little prayer for him. I'm strong, believe in prayer warriors. Throw some prayers up for him. He go to court. Hopefully that 25 years get reduced, thanks to Trump with the first act or whatever it's called, you know what I'm saying, which giving a lot of people a lot of chance to come home. Can you imagine doing 25 years for drugs and people go to jail for killing people for 25 years? Can you imagine going to jail in a conspiracy to a gang and you wasn't even a gang member? Gotta watch your goddamn circles, man. First Step Act, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So as much as people hated Trump, you got people like Jinx The Juvie and Angela Stan and, other people that came home on that First Step Act, that gave people another chance. And Jinx The Juvie, you hear how nice this dude is? Nigga, bars. Like, I was catching up the bars. He had so many bars. He had bars on top of bars, but that's the type of rap that I like to, dissect and figure out the little wordplay and stuff like that. But shout out to Jinx The Juvie, shout out Big Phil. Shout out to everybody from BK. Y'all follow Jinx The Juvie on Instagram at Jinx DAJUVY, I believe it is. But it's on my Instagram, and I got a picture of him on my Instagram. You can go on my page and follow him from there. But fathers out there, teach your kids better. Mothers out there, teach your kids better. Watch the circles that they hang out with. Watch the people that they hang out with. Your kid may not be in the gang, but if all their friends are gang members, when the boys come through to grab up the gang, your kid can get snatched too. let this be a lesson. This kid had a record deal at 15 years old. 15 years old. Imagine Criss Cross going to jail or Little Bow Wow when they got signed. That's Jinx The Juvie. You know what I'm saying? So all you artists out there, I know it's rough. You know what I'm saying? And y'all want to take chances to get your music out. Don't take the chance that that Jinx did, you know, being around a certain crowd that can not only rip your talent away from you to where you can't go and be creative, but it could take your freedom away from you. So mothers, watch your kids' company, especially you Black mothers. Watch your kids' company. If you see him with a rag out, a bandana hanging out in the back of his pocket, he might be gangbanging. If you see his kids, his friends with a lot of colors and stuff, whenever you see him the same colors all the time, he might be gangbanging. Pull him to the side and get him away. Step to the big homie of the crew. Say, hey, my kid don't need to be around this. Can you please keep him away from y'all? And if these dudes from the streets respect you and respect your son's life and freedom and respect you as an elder and as a mother or a father, they'll tell a little nigga, yo, you can't come around here no more. Your moms or your pops don't want you over here. Save a life by caring and teaching our youth better, all right? They put tears in my eyes to hear this nigga on the mic rapping and being so nice, even though, you know, like he said, he ain't blaming nobody but himself. But it's hard out here. A lot of us is talented, but it's hard out here. And it's even harder to display your talent. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Jinx The Juvie. I'm gonna keep my prayers up for him. All y'all in BK, y'all should be praying, send your prayers up for him for the crime he got. He don't deserve that time. 25 years, man. For drugs, come on, man. Come on. You know, First Step Act is a chance for y'all to get a second chance. If you get that second chance, don't blow it, all right? Choke no joke, you already know, man. I catch y'all tomorrow, man. Happy Friday to everybody. I appreciate the love. I'm going to take y'all out like this, all right? Get the album, Learn from Mistakes, out right now, ChokeNoJokeProductions.com. Let's go.
Stay the hell. Don't follow those cats. The niggas that be on the ground.
Shout outs on the screen.
Tell them what they doing. Choke no joke. You know what it is. Yo, y'all niggas better stay DL. Down low. Stop flossing, man. You just want them to just come and get you? Learn from our mistakes, man. That's what this is about. Learn from mistakes. Choke no joke. Let's go. You already know. Make it low. Let's go. My aim was enlightened. Drop jewels on you. You thinking I'm jealous? I ain't got cheddar like you. I'm the dude to a game you got school. Was a local cat, snatch you when I made moves. I'm paranoid and preaching, you was sleeping. Knew you was sneak thief and couldn't see us beefing. Learn from mistake, don't show I got cake. Impress a nigga to rob me, bitch seal my fate. Get knocked by the feds, lay up for about 8. Ass so busy flossing, ain't thinking about Jake. Loose, yapping, they ain't wiretapping. Videotaping, your ways in action. Front like time's hard, two-door garage. Ice like Liberage, with no damn jaw. Without a reasonable doubt, you think you Jay-Z with your platinum jewelry. He got a job, B. You shining on doctors with 4 degrees. Laughing cause I'm broke on the streets. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when you